Last week, that thing was loaded with avid people looking on our screen.
Well, we had 4,000 last week, Podge. We have about 400 tonight.
Kick, it's going to take a bounce. It's going to take a Waltham bounce. Waltham might get this football.
That's a live ball.
And I think Waltham did get it. It took a Waltham bounce at about the 23-yard line. See if we got a number who picked that up.
Boy, the Cambridge Falcons could not stop.
I think number 19 picked it up.
Cambridge Falcons asleep at the switch, almost looking like it was a punt, kickoff. That's a live ball. It's equivalent to an onside kick.
Ryan Hogan.
Waltham in business again.
And Ryan Hogan, I think we covered the fumble, or the onside kick at Cambridge 22-yard line. So Waltham in good scoring position right here early with 10 minutes and 36 seconds left. I formation. He's going to hand it off to DeRico, who's already got one touchdown. He's across the 15, down to about the 13-yard line. A pick up 7 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, just a horrible beginning for Bill Timmons' Cambridge Falcons. The ensuing kickoff, plus you get tagged with the personal foul, and then your team shies away from the kickoff. I don't think they had a play tonight.
Bill being an official, what do they usually kick off from? They were kicked
40-yard
and they kicked off at the 40 on that personal foul. So what was that? It must have been during the play.
Unless Waltham refused the penalty.
Yeah. Handoff goes to DeRico again, and I think he might pick up the first down, maybe out of 2.
Or the penalties could have been offsetting, Podgy. There might have been 2 fouls. Maybe another official had a foul and they offset. So
because they end up kicking off at the 40.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be an official explanation of that flag.
Joe DeRico did pick up the first down, so it brings up 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Waltham can get a first down.
It was Dave Williams, number 85 on the tackle, stuffing up the middle right there. And talking to Dan Ventura, he was very impressed with DeRico's running ability, and DeRico, of course, making a really tremendous catch to try to rally Waltham late in that game.
That was a great catch. It really was. I formation for the Hawks. In motion, Sanowski. They're going to hand it off to Bourgeois. First man throw. He's going to try to bounce it to the outside. He does. Touchdown, Waltham. 11-yard run for Mark Bourgeois, and Waltham takes a 12-0 lead. Try to cut it inside there, Bill, and just wasn't there. And he made a nice move bouncing outside.
Smart running by Bourgeois. That's why he is so talented, Podgy. He looks inside, doesn't see anything he likes, bounces it outside, and that's the key phrase, bounce. Just takes that little jitterbug step, all of a sudden gets to the outside, beats the cornerback around the left-hand side, in the end zone, 12-0 Waltham, and it looks like they're going to go for 2, Podgy, to try to gain back the extra point missed by Rock.
Well, it certainly did not take any time here. Waltham in total command of the game already. And it looks like they're going to take out their loss from last week on the Cambridge Falcons.
Unfortunately for Cambridge. But, you know, this is a good game in between the Everett Peabody game. They are going to go for 2, as Bill mentioned. I formation. He's looking to throw. He's going to throw it into the middle. He's got a wide open Jeff Hines and a little down and in post pattern touchdown or 2-point conversion. And Waltham takes a 14-0 lead.
Well, Waltham looking very impressive. They took advantage of the miscue by the Falcons on the ensuing kickoff, and Waltham in total control of this game. 9:21 left. Waltham 14, Falcons nothing. Full tape.
All right, we're back here at Bentley College Field. Waltham, if you just joined us, has scored 14 points in the first 3 minutes of this football game. Under 2 minutes. Taken there by number 40, well, we don't have a 34, Jonathan Callahan. He was tackled there by Jed Boudreau and a bunch of other Waltham players.
Just to recap,
Cambridge will take over at the 32-yard line.
To recap the scoring, George, Joe DeRico, a 78-yard kickoff return to open the game. Rock misses the extra point. Took all of 17 seconds to run the 78 yards. Waltham ahead 6-0. Then when Waltham got the ball back on the free ball and the kickoff, 2 Joe DeRico runs and a Mark Bourgeois 11-yard touchdown run. The conversion was good. 1 minute 19 seconds on that drive, 22 yards. Waltham 14, Cambridge nothing. Podgy.
Well, here we go. The handoff goes to number 44, which we don't have, and that must be Ford, I guess, that we were talking about off the air.
Nice play.
Scott Coleman on another tackle.
Matt Fratto there as well.
At quarterback tonight is Louis Ballestez, I guess. We're going to take a Ballestez.
Sounds good to me.
We'll take a shot at that. Maybe we'll have Cambridge parents complain to me too. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah, it might be
so.
Just call him Ford, John. That's That's the big running back.
Here we go now. It's a loss of 2 on the play. We're going to go with Ford on that, number 44. Ballestez is going to throw, play action. He's looking. He's got number 1. It's intercepted. Number 22, Mark Bourgeois with the interception. He had the intended receiver, the first man, wide open.
Yeah, Joel Camaro, actually not Camaro. No, we'll go Cameo. You say Cameo, I say Camaro. I don't know. But
I'll
anyways,
call him Camaro.
Just a terrible pass by Ballestez. Rolls out to his right and throws it right in. You're right, George. He was open briefly, but
The additional receiver, if he looked him, he got Dorico to come up, and he had him if he threw it right then, but he decided to go to the receiver here in the flat, and Bourgeois read it perfectly and picked it off.
yeah, I don't know if Waltham's ever scored triple digits in a game, but we could be looking at that tonight.
Bourgeois got a big hole. Waltham is just, we got a flag though, and I think that might be holding. That looks like holding territory. Dorico carrying the football.
Boy, we saw also a late hit there by number 82, Drew Walker, levels a Waltham player right in the middle of the pack.
Not to make any excuses here, but I'm looking at numbers here. They got 71. I mean, we don't even have some of these numbers here on the roster. I mean, so bear with us.
Well, it's been that indicative of the type of year we've had, doing the game out of dump trucks and rooftops. And it's always an interesting situation.
Still done a professional job doing it though, and but you gotta thank the crew here.
Dan McCarthy on rooftop tonight, doing a fabulous job.
And of course yourself, Phil McGrady, setting this whole thing
Oh
up.
yeah, always working hard.
Well, he's gonna throw.
Yeah,
He's gonna run it himself. He's across the 35, and he dives across down to the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. Nice play by Joey Burgoyne.
Well, Joey Burgoyne had Mark Bourgeois out here in the left flat, elected not even to look to the left. Bourgeois had all sorts of running room. Burgoyne looking downfield for Fratto, I believe, and rolled out instead. Still picked up a gain of 6 yards thereabouts. 2nd and 4 for Waltham.
2nd down and 4.
Actually,
Pick up of more than that, because it was 2nd and 15.
It was, right, second, that's correct. So he picked up about 10 there.
Unofficially a pickup of 11. I formation. Burgoyne calling the signals. He's going to hand it off to Dorico, who's going to twirl. He's going to pick up the first down at about the 23-yard line. I think it's first down for the Hawks. 1st and 10. And did Cambridge look like they came to play right now? Because Waltham's just blowing them right off the line.
Yeah, absolutely not. The Falcons, of course, their special teams asleep at 2 back-to-back plays.
And the coach knows it now.
Bill Timmons is going to take a timeout. And,
he's going to let them know it too. Because right now, Waltham, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the Waltham offensive line, but Cambridge just looks like they're not here to play. They just
back-to-back plays, the opening kickoff return, and then the ensuing kickoff where you just let the ball kind of hang around there. Waltham recovers it and then cashes right in almost immediately.
Well, we have to give Cambridge a little credit. They do come in 3-3, Podgy. You said usually they come in with a lot more losses than 3 during a Waltham game, but they've only allowed 47 points in 6 games so far. Only 2 points more than the Waltham defense has allowed. And you know how good the Hawk defense has been all year.
Yeah, well,
the problem with Cambridge guys, Phil, is that they can't score.
Well, some of the scores, they lost to Somerville 12-6. And
9-6 loss to Peabody.
And then 9-6 loss to Peabody. I don't know.
15-6 to Alton.
And then so some of these scores, they lose low-scoring games.
Those are
so the defense.
2 out of the 3, Somerville being a good team. That's 2 of the big teams in the GBL. I mean, because usually it's Everett, Peabody, and Waltham, and Arlington. Every once in a while, pops in with a good. Well, they have a good. I shouldn't say that. They have a great program. Right. And they're just a hard luck loser every year.
Yeah. A week ago, we looked at Everett Crimson Tide, kind of looking like the 49ers tonight.
They look good.
Cambridge looking like the Oakland Raiders coming in wearing the silver and black. However, not really intimidating anybody right now.
No. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. Handoff goes to the first man through, and he bounces outside again. Bourgeois inside the 20-yard line, down about the 18. Getting back to Everett, I tell you, Bill hit the nail right on the head a couple of weeks ago on the telecast. He's saying they were having a quarterback controversy. Well, it looked like they're straightening out that situation. They found a kid, and this kid did a heck of a job last week.
Delgado runs the option very well, and the key to running that option, Podge, is what you pointed out last week as well, is that look where they line up the Everett fullback, only about a half a yard behind the quarterback. It's tough to see where the ball goes right away.
And they did a heck of a job executing last week. 2nd down and 4. Hands it off to Bourgeois on a little counter play, and he's going nowhere right now. Cambridge showing a little bit of defense right there. Number 34, Jonathan Callahan, in on the tackle.
Yeah, Callahan and Bradshaw really just came up and they met Dorico, just really met him at the line. And I guess you have to really just take baby steps if you're Cambridge. You really have not done anything at all in this ball game. So maybe a defensive stop here, maybe a couple of back-to-back, string together some great defensive plays together, and maybe you get some momentum back.
Well, they've had the football for what, 2 plays? I mean, it's like when we joked about that Somerville against Waltham. They had it for 1 play. They were down 14-0, right?
Joey Burgoyne better hurry up and get this playoff because he was over the sideline with Coach Gohane for quite a while, and the referee Bill Lanigan looking at his watch and the play clock. And
he's looking at it again. He might throw it right now, and he's going to throw it.
Yeah, Bill, you saw that one coming all the way, and Waltham kind of.
You can't do that.
And I'm going to say once again, for about the 4th or 5th year in a row, that is the problem with not having a shuttle system. Dan Gohane's a great football coach, has a successful program, but he continues to employ the quarterback running from sideline to the huddle, and it's cost him on numerous occasions. And when they get behind late in the game, as they did last week against Everett, it cost them more with time.
Well, here's the situation now. You have third and 2. Now it's 3rd and 7. Now it's a hold up. Now you got to make a different play, so you got to readjust, look at the playbook again.
Yeah, well, we're going to see Joe Burgoyne probably maybe passing, although I don't know. They've been running the ball effective. Joe Burgoyne, pretty good game last week against Everett.
He had a great game. He is going to pass. He's looking. He's going to toss it into the corner of the end zone for Zanowski. And a great defensive play there by number 22, David Graham. And he breaks up the play.
Yeah, nice play by Graham. He had position on Zanowski all the way and just got the arm up there, had position all the way. And the play really had no chance at all. Graham stayed with him all the way, and it looks like a
4th down.
I don't know. Are they going to go for it here?
At the 22. Yeah, I was going to say it'd be a 40-something. 32, it'd be a 39-yard field goal.
Guys, you're down close, and John Rock the last 2 weeks has been a little under the weather. I know he's been injured a little bit, and he's missed a couple of extra points, missed a field goal last week, and you already had 14-0. Nothing to lose here deep in Falcon territory.
I formation, you see Jeff Hines go in motion. Well, maybe you don't. He was set up the wrong way. There goes Zanowski in motion, and we're going to have to call a timeout. Good play there by Burgoyne. They had a little confusion there. So Waltham's going to take a timeout with 5 minutes, 10 seconds. We'll take a timeout. Waltham leads at 14-0. Back here live, I'm George Melancelon with Phil McGrady and Bill Zioli. Waltham leading 14-0 with 5 minutes, 10 seconds left. We got a 4th down, 7 situation here for Waltham. Burgoyne's looking to throw. And he's going to have to scramble as he gets rushed. And he's got a lane. He might pick up the 1st down. Yes, he will. He's to the 10. He's down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Hawks. Joe Burgoyne with a little Joe Montana run.
Absolutely. Nice running by Burgoyne. He totally outran Dave Williams, number 85, and Drew Walker, number 82, who both really had the angle on him. He just outran them. And he runs for the 1st down, the ball down at the 5, clock continuing to run. And looks like Waltham can do no wrong tonight.
Joey showed what he could do last week, guys, where he didn't have much to do the first 6 games of the year, handing the ball off to Dorico and Bourgeois. Last week, he threw for 270-some-odd yards, was mobile in the pocket, and showed there again, George, that he gets around the corner and has some good speed to outrun the defensive linemen.
Good presence there running the football. They mark the ball at the 6-yard line, so it's 1st and goal from the 6. They hand it off to Bourgeois, and he fumbled the football, but it's a touchdown. Mark Bourgeois. So Waltham goes up 20-0.
Great block there, George, by Jeb Boudreau, the fullback in that formation, who leveled the defender for Cambridge along, I know that 78, I believe, was in there. Mark Panadosi as well with a big block. So the Hawks, the fullback and offensive lineman pushing the Falcons back, and they have a huge lead here of 20-0 early in this football game.
Yeah, also Matt Whalen, number 75, also laying some licks on some people in the interior line.
Jonathan Rock on to kick the extra point. Scott Coleman doing the holding.
See if Rock can straighten out his difficulties on this one.
And from here it looks good, and it is. So with 4 minutes, 28 seconds left, Yes, in the first quarter. I said the first quarter. Waltham leads it 21-0.
You're looking at the scoreboard from Falcon Stadium on the campus of Bentley College. 21-0 Waltham over the Falcons of Cambridge. That was a 5-yard touchdown run by Marc Bourgeois. Jonathan Rock with the extra point. The Hawks going ahead 21-0, 35 yards, 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the drive. Podgy?
Joe Rock kicks it off to number 1, Joel Kamamo. Kamimo? How do you say that one?
Well, we said Camaro, but I think we'll go with.
Oh, we're gonna go Camaro.
We'll go Kimono.
Camayo.
Camayo.
Joe Camayo.
Camaro. I don't even see an out there, but we'll say Camaro. That sounds good to me. Joe Camaro, but he got nailed by a bunch of Waltham players anyhow. And Cambridge will take over at their own 24-yard line.
Well, I don't know if you're head coach Bill Timmons right now. I guess you do maybe keep the ball on the ground. You haven't fumbled on a regular play from scrimmage. You've done pretty much everything else wrong tonight. You've had mishaps on both sides of the special teams, but we'll see what the Falcons can do in a 21-0 hole right now.
Louis Ballesteros calling the signals, I formation. With Bradshaw and Ford, they're going to hand it off to Ford, and he's going to get across the 25 down to the 26-yard line and pick up maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, and Ford really has been the go-to guy for the Falcons this year. He's had a couple of big games in the Cambridge 3 wins this year. But again, the 3 losses have been very low-scoring games, so this is probably the biggest hole that Cambridge has been in.
Well, Waltham, a very angry bunch after last week's game, and showing it tonight, just totally dominating the line play so far. And Derico and Bourgeois running well. Burgoyne doing a nice job leading the team as well. Defense, Bourgeois with an interception. And Danny Connors, a strong game so far. He makes another tackle on defense.
They're going to hand off to Ford again, but look who breaks through there. Scotty Coleman.
There's your boy, Podgy. He's done a great job.
He's been playing some great football. He really has. And he shot the gap there, and it's a loss of 2 yards, so it brings up 3rd and 10. One thing, like you said, Waltham a little upset. I think they're upset because they didn't execute last week. You know what I mean? And Everett was a great football team, and Waltham's a great football team. But Everett just executed better than Waltham last week, and that was the difference in the football game.
Well, Phil, how often you can comment on this? You get to control your own destiny. Waltham, for the first time in a number of years, had destiny in their own hands last week,
and they didn't do it.
And were unable to control their fate.
Yeah, they let it slip through their fingers, and they're angry about that, and now they have to see what happens.
Over across the Route 2 there in Everett. That's the game right now. If Everett wins, they're in right now. There's Ford bouncing off a couple tackles.
A fumble.
And he fumbled the football. And let's see who got it. Number 77. Jason Gregory was on the tackle, but it's 4th down. Cambridge recovered it. They're going to punt the football. Well, like you mentioned, Bill, I mean, they hold their own destiny. Right now, unfortunately, they have nothing to go on what's going on with the Everett Arlington situation. Everyone's the football. They're going back to a Super Bowl for the 4th consecutive year.
Yeah,
they're going to fight the box. You see that in the Globe today, Bill?
What's that?
How to end the century. The 2 winners high schools of the century, Brockton and Everett, will play each other.
Well, Everett had a great program throughout
back in the 50s,
30s, 40s, and 50s. Went to the national championship game in Florida, I believe, in the 50s.
In fact, they beat Waltham to get to that game.
Right, which cost them, matter of fact, a couple of years ago, 1994, George, we'll get to that story in a minute, the same Florida situation. That punt is down on Cambridge's own 47-yard line. Everett in 1994 had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They went to Florida, and the MIAA say they played an extra game, which made them ineligible, and that's why Arlington was able to go to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
In the same scenario, because Everett had gone to that Florida, quote, national championship game back, I believe, 1960, 61.
Yeah, I think they beat Cliffy Poirier Sr. and the guys, former Waltham head coach. Waltham get Everett come in. I think they beat Eddie Beck and the Poiriers. If I can, I don't know the exact date, but Everett it did go on to Florida.
Yeah, well, Podgy, you were in high school for about 15 years, so you should. You should have been around.
No, the Waltham education's a lot better than that.
That red shirt, 8th year senior.
I'm a 10-year redshirt freshman.
Well, Waltham right now, up 21-0, a minute 47 left, and I guess eventually we're going to see some underclassmen come into the game to see what they can do in game situations.
Well, you know why? Because Danny Cohen will never run the score up on anybody. And this guy JK, JF, whoever wrote.
Oh, JW.
JW wrote that thing. Danny Cohen will never run up a score. And you know what? If you're winning 21, you got seniors that are on the bench that haven't played. You want to get the seniors in to play their games. The sophomores and juniors are going to have plenty of time to play their football.
And I don't know
games.
why somebody thought that at 21-12 the game was over. That was a talented Somerville team, and that game was not over yet.
And Liz DeRico just barreling across some people, a couple big holes. He's across the 40, down to about the 37, 38-yard line. But you're gonna see a lot of players tonight. And Danny Cohen will not run up a score on anybody. You might not see him pass the football again in this half. I mean, we're still in the first quarter.
You know, well,
But that's
Waltham
class of
taking
Danny Cohen.
advantage of all the mishaps that Cambridge has given them.
Let's put it this way. If this was ESPN, we'd be bouncing over to Everett right now, picking up the Everett Arlington game.
And with the capabilities of the Everett production crew, we could probably do that, actually.
And off to DeRico, he's going to try to bounce it outside, but he's caught from behind there by number 50, Lewis Noble.
That might be enough for a first down, guys.
But did he pick up the first down? Let's see where they spot it. Get out of the way, they tell the coaches. No, they're going to measure. Officials going to take a timeout here for the measurement. Waltham leading 21-0 here with 53 seconds left in the first quarter.
And not only the fans may be making early exits tonight, the broadcast team may be making an early exit tonight.
We'll do what NBC did. No sound.
No announcers. Also, what we may do is,
Phil and Podgy have watched on Waltham, and we've been requested to do a game with no sound for once. So.
Well, if that's the case,
that would be my pleasure, actually, to reward them by doing that. And you know what? As much as Danny Cohen might be having some underclassmen come down, maybe Dan McCarthy come down and maybe announce a couple plays tonight. Get him into the game.
Absolutely. You're the boss.
Oh, no thanks. We get a vote from no thanks from the roof, from Roof Cam.
He's the boss. You're the boss. I do whatever you say, Phil. I'm at your command.
I wish everyone at my office would work under me.
Be glad it's Dan McCarthy, not Ray Lachese. He'd kick us out of the booth and take over.
That's a first down by DeRico. They hand it off. He's across the 35, down to about the 32-yard line. An easy first down for the Hawks. Well, if I leave here, I'd probably go pick up the Milford Scarlet Hawks game.
Yeah. Well, Bill's keeping stats tonight. Hopefully he's got a separate stat on how many cliches we go to. I know that we actually had at least 2 in the first quarter, and hopefully I think our record's 17 in any given broadcast. So hopefully
Bill. First down and 10 for the Hawks with 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. The ball's marked at the Cambridge 34-yard line. He's going to do play action. He's looking. He throws it into the flat air. Oh, broken up there by Joe Camaro.
Well, Joe Burgoyne had Jeff Hines open behind double coverage down the left sideline. And Joey had a little tunnel vision there. He focused on Matt Fratto and was able to, defensive back or linebacker, was able to get in front of the play.
Yeah, also when he was rolling out, he actually was turning the wrong way, running the opposite side, a right-handed thrower, running away from his body. They really had to do a 360 to try to complete that pass, and it did not happen for Joe Burgoyne.
Well, that stops the clock here with 12 seconds left in the first quarter here.
And a marathon first quarter there, Podgy, with all the scoring that Waltham has done.
Well, I think it's because it's 21-0. I think we just feel. Is it a marathon? Yeah, it's a marathon. A half hour. He's going to throw. No, a draw play. To Bourgeois. He cuts it inside, but he's ripped down there by Joe Camaro again. Joe Camaro all over the place right now, Phil.
Yeah, well, maybe he's got like a Boss 302 engine under there or something.
That's another one.
Well, anyway, that ends a very comical first quarter of play. We'll be right back with the Waltham Hawks leading 21-0.
We're back here live. I'm George Malance along with Phil McGrady and Bill Zioli. Waltham has a 3rd and 6 situation at the Cambridge 28-yard line. They're going to hit after Bourgeois. He's got a big hole, and he barrels down about the 20-yard line. I think he has the first down. It depends where the official spots the football. And up, they give him the first down. So first down and 10 for the Hawks at about the 19-yard line.
Well, Waltham 6-1.
The 21-yard line, I'm sorry.
Coming into this game, and they'll be playing the old nemesis Peabody Tanners next Saturday.
Next Saturday down here, homecoming.
Yeah.
It's going to be different, like you mentioned last week.
It's going to be a little bit different. I don't know if there's going to be a parade and some of the other festivities that we've seen in the past. You can't drive trucks on this field.
Unless they did it from the high school, come up the access road down, you could do that.
Yeah. Traffic has been so good around, around here the last couple of weeks.
That was Bourgeois carrying the football again. He's inside the 10-yard line, down about the 8. And I think another first down for the Hawks. Yes, it is. So it'll be first and goal about the 8 or 7-yard line. Waltham trying to make the score 27-0. And my tonsils are starting to get really sore right now.
I hope you're not getting mono,
Yeah,
George.
My poor 4-year-old daughter, which is really seen, has mono. Gonna go back into Mass General next week for more tests. First and goal. They marked it at the 9-yard line. They hand it off to Dorico, who is just running people over right now. Waltham is just exploding off the offensive line, huh, Bill?
Well, something that the Crimson Tide of Everett did to Waltham last week, controlling the middle of the offensive line, and the Hawks dishing out their own punishment tonight to the Falcons.
Yeah, reversal of fortune. Jason Gregory, number 77.
Reversal of fortune.
Fratto coming in from the tight end spot, hitting some people. Jeb Boudreau out there. Loves to hit people, whether he's playing offense or defense.
Jeb Boudreau is one good football player, I tell you. Especially a guy that goes both ways, you know, and hits.
And we mean that. We mean that in the good way, of course.
Yes. And he hits both ways. They're going to hand off to Jeb Boudreau, and he's just shy of the goal line. He's down about the 1-yard line, so they bring up 3rd and goal. 37, Isaiah Bradshaw in on the tackle. They're marking at the 1-yard line. 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Waltham Hawks lead 21-0 over Cambridge. And I feel bad for these Cambridge Falcons.
Well, if Waltham punches us in here, Podgy, they can start the buses with 8 minutes left here in the second quarter.
Fat lady might start singing, huh?
She's at least warming up.
I
also
formation.
looks like Jonathan Rock in there.
They're going to give it to Jeb Boudreau, but he's met right at the line of scrimmage and a touchdown. Did you see that play by Joey Burgoyne to try to help Jeb Boudreau in? Jeb Boudreau in with the touchdown as he was met there by Chris Charles.
Which technically could have been called a penalty, Podgy. It would be called aiding the runner. You cannot do that. And luckily,
he must have been in before he did
got
that.
in the end zone before Burgoyne pushed him, right.
Well, you see it right there on your screen, 8:33 left, and Waltham just went up 27-0. And Jonathan Rock will come on to kick the extra point, I think.
The offensive line of Waltham, Negron, Connors, Gregory, just open up huge holes. Cambridge is no match for this line tonight.
No, they're not. And unfortunately, they're the ones that are taking out their frustrations because of the great effort defense last week. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's good. 8 minutes, 33 seconds left here in the first half, and Waltham in a commanding 28-0 lead. We'll be back after this.
Back here at Falcon Stadium on the campus of Bentley College, Bill Zioli, Phil McGrady, Dan McCarthy, and the voice of Waltham High School football, George Podgy Melanson. Waltham 28, Cambridge nothing, and Waltham just putting a beating on the Falcons so far to this point.
Phil, help me out because my throat's starting to get a little groggy.
That was Cameo, or is Camaro? We affectionately call him the scratchy voice of the Waltham Hawks.
We went to Camaro. We decided to go with Camaro.
George, with this scratchy voice, it's a possibility that you may have to leave the broadcast early tonight.
I hate to say this, but I could. Second half could be
on the disabled list.
I want to save it for the homecoming game next week against Peabody, which is while we're here, we might as well bring that up. Bill, you tell about it because I don't want to hit my throat.
Next Saturday, or this Saturday, as you're watching this, November 13th, the Peabody Tanners come in for what could be a huge game, depending on what happens up at Everett Memorial Stadium tonight. 1:30 p.m. kickoff. That will be played here on the grass field at Falcon Stadium.
You want to go live to Lenny Soren down in Evans, get an update score?
And then Thursday, November 25th, game that's a non-league game, but a game that Dan Cohane always points to as the biggest of the year. The Brockton Boxers at Brockton, the scene of the brawl at Marciano Stadium 2 years ago.
My favorite team.
And,
it was a very windy and ugly day down at Marciano
Stadium. It was a windy, ugly, cold day. And,
yeah, but you talk about that day, but you and I, we sat through those conditions with our colds. And
absolutely.
But someone else wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, actually, you actually brought the cough medicine that day.
Yes, I did. I brought the cough medicine.
Paul and Linda LaCava sitting with us that day.
From Owner Shoppers Cafe.
Also, Armin Colombo, just three wins short of his 300th victory, featured on Nesson this evening.
Really? So he could hit 300 on Thanksgiving Day?
That's absolutely correct.
Are you kidding me?
Wouldn't
My favorite.
Wouldn't that be
is
exciting?
Nesson still on the air? Gee, I didn't realize.
Apparently
Are you going to try to make it this
I
year?
I will be there Thanksgiving morning, George, this year.
There's a high shot kick by John Rock. It's taken there by number 22, David Graham. And Cambridge was going to take over. There was a penalty on the last play.
Yeah, an offside, and Cambridge elected to have Waltham kick again.
Good move by them because they gained 10 yards in the play, and they're going to take it over at their own 37-yard line.
Well, Brockton not having the year this year that they're accustomed to.
They're still going to go to the Super Bowl because they're in that big 3 division.
Well, and the MIAA really needs to do something to realign the leagues. You know, with the 3 teams down there in New Bedford. New Bedford is a talented football team.
Have they played already, though, right?
New Bedford, Brockton, I believe.
They're all done. I think he's all done.
I don't know if New Bedford and Brockton have played each other yet. I don't think New Bedford and Brockton.
There's a fumble, and Walton's going to recover at the Cambridge 42-yard line. Picking up the fumble there is number 56. David Granados picking up the fumble.
Oh, there you see a shot of him right there going back over. Some congratulations from his special teams friends. And every possible thing that could go wrong for Cambridge tonight has happened to them.
It's funny.
The Cambridge Falcons in this game, George, not to interrupt you, they have run, let's see, 2 and 4 is 6. They've run 7 offensive plays at this point, and they've given away the ball 3 times.
Could that mean they're down 28-0? Is that what that means, right?
That's apparently what that means.
Yeah.
And if you don't get going soon,
You know, it's funny. That happened to Waltham against Somerville, but Waltham was a better character team, and they came back and ended up winning that football game, obviously. They're going to do a little scissors play to Zanowski, but a good tackle there. Is that number 1 again?
There's Cameo. Nice.
Cameo has been all over the football.
Cameo a nice play to just wrap
field.
up Zanowski in the famed scissor play, which has worked many times in the past for Danny Cohane.
But that's a great play by Camille. You know, give this kid credit. They're down 28-0, and he's still he's been in on, I would say, 80% of their tackles so far.
He read that play the whole way, George. You could see him on the right side of the defensive line playing outside linebacker. Saw Zanowski come in motion, but going fake the handoff to the up man, and he was waiting for Zanowski coming from right to left.
I think Danny was hoping on that play. That might have just put the icing on the cake there, make it 35-0, and that would have been it. They're going to hand it off to DeRico. And Cambridge defense tightened up a little bit, now showing a little bit of frustration there. Leading the way there was Manny Castillo and number 55, which we don't have, Matt McDonald.
Matt McDonald also helping out on that tackle, as well as Matt Kruby coming up from his secondary position to make the play.
Matt Kruby, he's a good football player.
He has been.
Each week he has helped Cambridge. He made a big key interception against Peabody in their 9-6 loss.
Once again, the Waltham Gridiron Club wants to extend their congratulations and thanks to Hobbsbrook Office Park, sponsoring a scholarship for a needy Waltham student.
3rd and 15. This looks like a screen by Burgoyne. He's going to throw it out to Matt Fratto, but it's an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 4th down. What do you do, Bill? You punt the football here?
Yeah, they're going to, sure, why not? You're up 28-0. No need to make any further mistakes. This drive has not been a thing of beauty so far. This is the first time that Waltham has stalled tonight. Loss of 5 yards, no gain, and an incompletion. Punt the football away. You have a 28-point lead. Maybe you can pin Cambridge deep again.
Get a coffin corner kick there.
Yeah.
And Cambridge has only run, once again, 7 plays, so they haven't shown that they can do anything to...
They're not old yet, is that what you're saying?
And also, the way Cambridge has performed on the special teams, disaster just waiting around the corner at any moment.
Not only that, but just mentioning a comment about the politically correct Cambridge, City of Cambridge, as Podgy's climbing on the stairs trying to get out of here. The Cambridge team used to be known as the Warriors, but not PC over in the city of Cambridge. And they've changed the name to the Falcons.
There's a timeout. We're going to take a timeout, Phil? Or you wanna...
No, I think we'll just maybe continue with our comedy routine. And now, Bill Zioli. Now,
yes.
if PC is what, Providence College?
Oh, we're going to go way back.
If Friars, would that be politically correct?
We're going to go way back when me and Coach McGuire were in school. They used to call the Cantaps. Cambridge Cantaps.
There's a lounge still there.
2 Friday nights ago, I was at the Cantab Lounge there, George Melanson.
Is that why they were named after a lounge? Like the Marble Shamrocks?
Well, I just said a second ago, anytime Cambridge special teams are on the field, disaster is just a moment away. And again,
anybody interested in some good blues music? Little Joe Cook and the Thrillers appear usually on Friday nights at the Cantab Lounge, and I took in the show there a couple of Friday nights ago. So over in Cambridge, and
I heard there was a heck of a show last week. It made it, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. The Dumpster Bunnies back out performing on the road, and maybe plug their. I think it's November 26th, the Friday night after Thanksgiving. They'll be at
same place?
at the Rendezvous.
no, they'll be at the Rendezvous in Waltham.
By the way, www.dumpsterbunnies.com for all you music lovers.
It's
There you
up
go.
in line, and then
Is
right
your schedule coming up?
Yep, right around the corner also is www.armchairquarterback.org. will be up next week.
Are you heading down to Shoppers Cafe one day with the?
The traveling freak show known as Armchair Quarterback will be going down to.
That's what I like to see. That's what I want to see.
Got to get all the plugs out of the way here.
All right.
Tom Scafidi had us over at Common Cafe this past week.
That's good to see.
Now, will you be sitting on the George Melanson stool at Shoppers, Phil, when you do the show from?
Well, we have to move Dr. Montecaro over a stool, and then we'll dust it off.
Incomplete pass here by Cambridge. You can see what's going on in your TV screen right now as we just sit around. I feel like I'm Sean. Who's the guy there? Sean O'Brien there. 1 o'clock in the morning. Whatever his name is.
What's that?
What's the talk show at 1 o'clock?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan. That's it.
It's Sean O'Brien.
That's what I was paying attention to him too, huh? So that brings up second down and 10, 6 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. The Hawks of Waltham leading 28-0. And Cambridge just ran their 8th offensive play of the game. So it brings up second and 10. It was an incomplete pass. Ballesteros calling the signals. He's looking to throw. He throws a nice little pass. Oh, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, nice
tight
play.
coverage
Nice
there by
play.
Dorico.
Yeah, Dorico with a nice play, getting the arm in there. Just laying off the receiver, Devin Robinson, the intended receiver.
Cambridge coaching staff wanted the flag there. Thought Dorico might have hit the receiver early. No call on the sideline.
The unfortunate part about this one is 28-0. We're going to see a lot of balls being thrown and a lot of incomplete passes and a lot of whistles.
A lot of clock stoppage.
And a lot of clock stoppage with 6:24 left.
Well, George, I have
If we're lucky, we'll catch a Notre Dame game tomorrow night at 7:30.
George, I have a telephone here, so if you get an emergency call that you have to go,
I'll take care.
It is available.
He blitz in there. Oh, Jeb Boudreaux missed him. I'm sorry, number 32 missed him, Randy Jacobs. And he completes the pass, and guess who? Joel Camaro.
Yeah.
First down for Cambridge. Their first first down of the game.
Without a doubt, that's got to be their longest play from scrimmage tonight. Cameo, nice grab out of the in the secondary, catching the ball and running in traffic, and Ballesteros made a nice play, and that's actually that's one good play for
21-yard game for the Falcons. Their first down of the evening.
All right, brings up first and 10 for the Falcons. Not the Bentley Falcons, the Cambridge Falcons. At their own 40-yard line. Ballast calling the signals. He's looking to throw. He's getting a heavy rush. Tries to get out of the way of one player. Number 56 led the way there. Started it off as David Granados. He came back and followed the play because Frado made him cut inside and he drilled him.
Yeah, Granados and also Dan Connors coming up.
Dan Connors in the help out.
Number 58 to finish the play off.
Well, that's a loss of 7, so it brings up second down and 17.
Well, I tried to talk a little bit about the Waltham defense last week, and we'll mention some names there while we have a chance. Danny Connors, of course, 58, and you just mentioned David Granados, and Jeb Boudreaux's out there as well, Scotty Coleman. Matt Frado's playing defensive end.
Second and 17.
Jeff Boyer out there as well.
And we got a flag on the play. Delay a game against Cambridge. So
32, Randy Jacobs in the game also. Dorico, Bourgeois, Zanowski out there. Coming in now, number 4, Sean Lozier. Waltham deep as well when talents, Phil McGrady. They have a lot of juniors and sophomores that look to make an impact.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those guys in the second half, and should be interesting because you don't always get the game time situations, but we should see probably a different look from Dan Cohane in the second half.
So brings up 2nd and 22 for the delay of game on Cambridge. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. You see Kamau out here? No. On the screen, Ball's looking to throw. He's being heavy rushed. They got flags on the play. He's nailed there by number 58 for the Hawks, Dan Connors. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 62.
Well, Connors with the pursuit there. Never left Ballastes out of the pocket. Chased him down. Looks like the penalty
is on the Hawks.
Illegal motion
on Cambridge. Nothing seems to be going right for the Falcons.
That's a legal formation, actually. 5 men in the backfield on Cambridge. Because if it was procedure, the play would have been blown dead right away.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask. Usually in a case like that, an offensive penalty, you see the play nullified.
Same signal. If you line up illegally, the play still goes off.
Well, referee choosing to run the clock right now after that penalty. 3 minutes, 50 seconds and counting left in the first half. 28-0, Waltham.
All right, 3 minutes, 48 seconds left. You see it right there on the screen. They're going to hand it off to quick opener to try to fool Waltham, but guess what? It didn't happen.
Yeah, the fullback,
37,
Isaiah Bradshaw. Isaiah Bradshaw going nowhere. And I don't know. I guess if you're Bill Timmons, head coach of the Cambridge Falcons, do you start playing maybe some of your underclassmen as well? I mean, obviously
you could forfeit.
the game pretty much on the verge of being out of hand. We don't want to. We've seen crazier things happen, but this would be really crazy.
This would be crazy. I mean, like you opening kickoff, Waltham. I mean, Dorico was untouched. He just opened up, and then the onside kick. You know, their head wasn't in the game. And they recovered that football, and then they went and scored again. Look at this. Look at this. Special team, bad snap. If Waltham was rushing right now, they would have another touchdown. And it's going to take a bounce across about the 50-yard line. Now Waltham's going to take over about their own 48. That's where they mark it. So at 2:55 left, we'll take a timeout. Waltham leads it 28-0.
28-0 is the score. The Waltham Hawks on top. They take over at the Waltham 48-yard line, but going handoff to Bourgeois, breaks a tackle, gets through a couple of Cambridge defenders, and is across the 40-yard line of the Falcons, down about the 38 for a Waltham first down, a gain of about 13 yards, Phil.
Yeah, and it's a nice play. Waltham really just going to continue to run the ball. I can't imagine they would go back to pass or any need for it. George Melanson resting his voice. Obviously, some illness in the Melanson family. We're sorry to see that. Also, Paul Lacavo in the booth with us, saying hello.
But going under center has Boudreau, Dorico, and Bourgeois gets the handoff, breaks a couple of more Cambridge Falcon tackles.
Boy, he was
ahead, Phil, for another gain, and that's going to be 10, 15, about 16 yards thereabouts.
Yeah, he was ready to go take it to the house, as they say, as just David Graham, number 22, lucky to just get a shoestring tackle to drag him down. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a 35-0 game, but it looks like holding. This play's going to come back.
Holding is the call. Signal from referee Bill Lanigan, who came down from Gloucester for tonight's game, Phil. The referee traveling a great distance. Speaking about Gloucester, the Fishermen, one of the best teams. That's a spot. No, holding on that play would be a spot foul from the spot of the foul, not a previous spot foul.
Yep.
That's why it's first and 14.
You're saying the Fishermen and the Witches?
And the Salem Witches tonight up on the North Shore. A big game in Division II. A lot of big games coming up in high school football in Eastern Mass. This looks like either offsides or illegal formation. Flags down. Might be illegal formation on Waltham.
Yeah, the play knocked down right at the line of scrimmage by number 71, David Simmons.
Legal procedure.
Procedure would be blown dead. That's illegal formation.
Legal formation. Waltham.
George Melanson, a true gamer and a real hero of the press box, resting his voice. We know he's under the weather, and
Same signal, John.
Well, they called that a legal, not a legal procedure because they would blow the whistle, so it was a legal formation. Is that what you're saying, Bill?
Yeah. Usually 5 men in the backfield on that. Why they don't blow it dead, they want to give the defense a chance to either get a fumble or intercept the pass.
All right, so it brings up a 2nd and 15. Minute 45 left here. Shotgun formation for Begone. He looks to throw. He's got time. He scrambles. He rolls over to his left. Looks to throw. He throws it now and out onto the flat there. It's an incomplete pass as it bounces before DeRico. No, I'm sorry, that was Zanowski, the intended receiver. So it brings up 3rd and 15.
Little happy feet that time from Joey Burgoyne. Threw the ball across his body. He had time to set himself, Phil, out the scramble and point his toe toward the receiver and throw it.
Yeah,
that time he tried to stop on, with his body facing the receiver and sort of sidearm it a la Dan Marino. It wasn't that successful.
Yeah, he did have Matt Fratto, number 89, open briefly. However, as you mentioned, the happy feet, he looked for maybe another receiver and kind of underthrew it. May have been tipped at the line, trying to
he may have been able to run the football too, though, because he looked like he had some running room there too, Bill.
George, your guest in the booth here, Paul LaCava. Maybe if you don't go down to the establishment that he runs, maybe he can bring you some food here, if possible.
Little quick out there to the Hines. Quick out. He goes to the 40, makes a couple nice moves. He's to the 30, and he's knocked out of bounds about the 26-yard line. I think he might have picked up the first down there.
Well, Jeff Hines showing that he's a total athlete. Of course, he's the point guard for Joe Cacciatore's basketball team. And he really makes plays happen.
They picked up the first down.
Getting the ball in his hands, and he definitely can make tackles miss them.
Waltham picked up the first down. And Bill's had it up. He can't figure it out no more. It's 28-0 here. The Hawks leading.
Actually, to translate Bill's stats, we can do it as Cambridge bad, Waltham good.
Yeah, I've given up the stat sheet for the rest of this night.
George's throw starting to go on him.
Well, why don't you guys run along, and me and Dan McCarthy will close up shop, and we'll see you.
Yeah.
We'll see you down in an establishment later.
Minute 27 seconds left. Waltham has 1st and 10 at the Cambridge 28-yard line, and we have a whistle blown. And these officials are really flag happy tonight with the 28-0 lead, huh, Bill?
Well,
You can't say anything bad. I know you're in the union.
I am in the union. I cannot say anything about my fellow men in black and white. I will say they're doing a fine job.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be out there making the $68 tonight because I'm working here for free.
And you're gonna get sick because I'm carrying a germ right now, so you might have mono too. I don't know if I told you that, Paul. My 4-year-old daughter has mono. Yeah. But 1st and 15 here. A minute 20 seconds left. Oh, big haul. Bourgeois. He's across the 25 down inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line.
Does that mean your daughter is going to be maybe moved to the practice squad, maybe on the Melanson football team?
I know she is the first pulling guard out of Milford High. So I don't know. Maybe she might have to go on the JVs for a week anyway.
Well, work our way back in shape. I know you're a good coach, and I know that the Melanson team will be there when...
George, all I know is if I had a daughter who played football, I want her to be a lean wide receiver, not a big pulling guard.
Oh, she's a big pulling guard. Trust me. Trust me. My 8-year-old might be the little wide receiver. Like, Mike LaCava, Joey LaCava, that type of I formation. Burgoyne's looking to throw. He's going to get pulled down there by number 72. He holds on to the football, though. Jovan Bill. On the tackle.
Yeah, actually a good play by Burgoyne to hang on to the ball as he was being.
Waltham's going to call a timeout with 30 seconds left. Waltham trying to punch one more in here before the half, huh, Bill?
Well, there's no reason not to. I mean, you're up 28-0, and you try to score as many points as you can while your starters are in there, and then, once you pull them in the second half, you can work on some, ball control and ground game.
I don't think so.
Everybody keeps asking us, because I went outside once when I was having trouble breathing. I had to get my lungs opened up. People saying, George, can you get a score? Can you get a score? Can you get a score from the Everett Arlington game? And unfortunately, I don't think we can we?
The only way we could do that, George, is if so inclined, we could probably call the desk sergeant at the Everett Police Station who can radio one of his guys on the scene, and maybe we can get a score that way. That might be a little far-fetched, but maybe that's something we can try as the night goes on.
No, we'll just use it with Waltham Cable.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Well, I'm sure that'll get us right in.
Waltham calls that timeout with 30.
Later on, George, when I go to the Comedy Connection to see Robert Schimmel, instead of paying at the door, I'm just going to tell him I'm from Channel 3.
That's what I always do, and I get right in.
I'm sure they'll carry some weight for you.
It's carried weight for me in Milford, Worcester area. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead right in.
It actually worked for me at a Patriots-Giants game. I said I was with Channel 3, and they actually let me pull the cameras on the sidelines at the Giants-Patriots game. Yeah.
See?
Another good thing last week is that I attending, obviously there was no parking last week for the Everett-Waltham game, but I got right in the parking lot, so you showed my media credential.
In your referee outfit?
See, I left mine. I had to park in Watertown to take the bus up. Here's Dorico.
Actually, the true story is, guys, is that I didn't know if Channel 3 was good enough to get me in the parking lot, so I showed my referee shirt from the JV game I did that day, and I told them I was an on-field official, so they let me right through. I didn't know if the Channel 3 tag moniker would have been good enough to get in. So.
Well, Dorico just carried that football. He picked up about, I'm going to say 7 yards, so it brings up 4th and 4. 4th down and 4, and they called the timeout with 23 seconds left. A 20-second timeout.
Bill Zioli not afraid to use chicanery to get into any parking lot, anytime, anywhere.
I hear you. I hear you.
I am and wait till, well, you guys aren't going to be with me this evening, but I will get a space close to Faneuil Hall tonight without a problem.
Power I formation for the Hawks. They're going to hand it off to Noah. After a fake handoff, he's looking to throw into the corner of the end zone. He's got Fratto, and he almost made a great catch, but he's broken up there by number 2, Devin Robinson. And Cambridge will take over with 19 seconds left.
Right on his fingertips, and actually looked like Fratto was going to come down with that, but he just couldn't hang on to it. It would have been a great catch if he did, but Robinson right there with him, actually double coverage.
Well thrown ball, though, because he was covered, and he threw it where Fratto could only get to it.
You know, if you're Cambridge here, guys, with 18 seconds left, there's no reason not to send 3 wide receivers and flood one side of the field and throw it up. I mean, the worst that can happen is you take a sack and, you know, big deal if you fumble and give up another score. You're already down 28. Throw the ball up 30, 40 yards, see if you can get a pass interference or a first down and call a timeout and try to do it again.
You see 78 Paul Doughton checking into the game for the Cambridge Falcons.
Yep, Doughton's a big name around Cambridge. Lance Doughton, Irv Doughton were Cambridge Warrior basketball players back in the early 80s, and the Doughton family from...
Quandell Ballett, number 10, is into the football game. He hands it off to Ford, and he is just wrapped around there by number 77, Jason Gregory.
The Doughton family from Cambridge Port around the Western Ave area outside Central Square is a big Cambridge family, and they've continued a tradition here tonight with Paul playing on the Falcon squad.
That is going to end the first half. Thank God for Cambridge. But if you just joined us, Waltham is in control of this football game. They lead it 28-0. We'll be back with second half action after this.
Well, we are back. Phil McGrady along with, George Melanson making his way back. I know he's got a bad throat, and he's a real gamer.
I feel a little bit better. Let me see if I can get up the stairs.
The halftime medication.
George, that's a quick ride from the Bentley Falcon Stadium to Moody Street and back at halftime.
I got a helicopter. I got a helicopter.
Yeah, special helicopter.
Cafe helicopter.
Shoppers One just his maiden voyage last week. Paul LaCava just totally perplexed by George Melanson, as we all are and have been for several years. But Phil McGrady along with Bill Zioli and George Melanson limping back into the booth for a second half. And Dan McCarthy up on the roof doing a bang-up job.
The Hawks ahead 28-0 here, Phil. Joe DeRico started it off with a 78-yard kickoff return. Mark Bourgeois, an 11-yard touchdown run as well. Another 5-yard touchdown run by Bourgeois. And that made it 21. And then in the second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run by Jeb Boudreau. How John Rock's extra point makes it 28-0 Hawks.
Taken there by Camaro. He's across the 30, out to his own 33-yard line. I'm back.
You're back, and your voice sounds better than ever.
I don't know. I swallowed a lifesaver. Let's see what happens.
Actually, we have some other changes. We have a new PA announcer.
Yeah. John McGuire has packed it up.
maybe his throw is hurting too. Had to make a lot of calls.
There is a virus going on right now that's really affecting a lot of people's throats.
I understand.
10 minutes, 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. We just begun. Waltham is leading 28-0 if you just joined us. We have a new quarterback in. Handed off Quandell Ballard.
Waltham starters still in on defense to begin the second half, guys.
And Quandell Ballard carries across the 35 down to the 40, a pickup of 7.
You know, that's something that they just tried out there, a little half roll-up by the quarterback. You know, the option works so well for Everett. I mean, if you're Cambridge, maybe you put in a different quarterback who can run a little option style and try to do a little bit about what the Crimson Tide did to the Hawks last week.
Yeah, Cambridge certainly nothing to lose, trailing 28-0. Can come up with any type of razzle-dazzle, any type of offensive play they want to try in game situations. Might be time for Bill Timmons and his team to try it.
Well, he did pick up 8 in the play. 7 on the play. It brings up second down and third. I formation. Ballard calling the signals. He ends it to the first man through, Isaiah Bradshaw, and I think he comes up shy. It's going to bring up a third down and probably 1.
I think Cambridge, only 1 first down maybe in the first half. That 21-yard pass play, I think, was the only first down for Cambridge.
You are correct, sir.
See, I was paying attention. I'm just not about comedy, you know.
Well,
we gathered that earlier.
Oh, if I had a drum kit, I would hit the cymbals right now.
Well, the way they marked it, they didn't give him any gain at all. I mean, what are they? Oh, they're coming out doing measurement. Okay.
In the hold in the previous spot over at the sideline, that's what they're doing. He is
just shy of the first down, so to bring up a third down and probably a half a yard.
Well, maybe you send the run backers here in on a run blitz. Try to shut down the Cambridge running backs before they hit the hole. Let's see what happens. They do send another linebacker up. They have a defensive back up as well, Hines. Now he's going to go backpedal, George.
Well, let's see what happens here. They handed it to the first man through, and he has it easy. He's across the 45 down to about the 47. First down for the Falcons.
Be a second first down tonight for Cambridge.
I don't know who the ball was. Was it Bradshaw? Bradshaw, I guess.
Isaiah Bradshaw to carry. First man through. First man through was killing Waltham last week.
Yeah.
No, it's quarterback Delgado did such a good job of hiding the ball. And then when we mentioned also last week what he was doing, he was then, once he did hand it off, was throwing lead blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delgado really getting the job done.
They hand it off to Ford. He bounces off a couple people. He's across midfield. He's in Waltham territory, probably at the 48-yard line.
Well, George, we're glad you're back, but I am interested to know you were not a halftime guest up here in the press box. You left us for a while.
I was down talking to Carmen Cacciatore.
Oh, okay,
talking about the Boston Bruins.
Okay.
The wind really picking up here in the second half. We may have to close the
windows.
Close the luxury box windows, I think.
Look at the window. You look at the window. Oh, it must be coming up down through here because it's going that way. Second down and 6. Will pick up a Ford. There's Ford carrying the ball, and he picks up another first down for Cambridge, down to about the 41-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. They mark it at the 42. First down for Cambridge. Cambridge still trailing 28-0 with 8 minutes 16 seconds left. What do you do here, Bill? You try to get something going and carry it into next week, or
if you're
Cambridge?
Oh, if you're Cambridge, yeah, you want to keep giving the ball to Ford. You've gotten 2 first downs in a row here. You have a quarterback that can show it on the first play that he can roll out a little bit. So you want to, maybe keep trying some misdirections and first man through once in a while, or pitch it out to the tailback. See if you can establish some ground game.
Oh my! They hand it off. First man through there. Who is that?
I think it's Fratto.
That's Fratto, yes, number 89, Matt Fratto. With Jeb Bidwell helping out to finish him off. No gain.
Well, Cambridge has, do they have a makeup game with Everett? Or is that I believe Cambridge and Everett got postponed earlier this year. and I believe that game is supposed to be made up
Yeah,
next
well,
week.
Waltham's played 7 games and Cambridge just 6, so I think there was a missing week for them.
Who's
Oh,
that?
that might have been Everett Revere, and Cambridge may play Everett on Thanksgiving, actually.
There's the pitch out to Ford. He tries to go to the corner, and guess what? He's going absolutely nowhere. Number 56 for Waltham. David Granado's leading the way.
Granados right there. Good job just containing him. And Waltham, a lot of the starters still in right now, and they've been effective all night.
Well, 6 minutes, 38 seconds on the clock. Waltham leading 28-0, and it brings up a 3rd and 16 situation for the Falcons.
With the speed that the quarterback showed in the first play that he ran once he got on the field, I'd call, if I was offensive coordinator of the Falcons, maybe a little quarterback draw here. Maybe try to open up the middle, let this kid run the ball, see what he can do.
That'd be good. Let's see what they do. He's going to throw. He rolls to his left, and he's going absolutely nowhere. As he's met there by Matt Freddo again and Jason Gregory.
Yeah, Ballard really had nowhere to go on that. The play was a disaster from the beginning.
And Bradshaw, number 37 for the Falcons, was looking to throw a block to protect his quarterback, but Freddo able to just do the swim move and get around Bradshaw into the backfield.
Well, Jonathan Rock comes into the game, and Jimmy Lacrosse, because they're going to punt the football here. David Flink doing the kicking. He gets it high. Taken by DeRico, who makes a fair catch at about the 25-yard line. So that's where Waltham will take over at their own 25. Now, do you let the first offense go out and run a couple plays before they sit them down for next week, or what do you do?
I think you want to probably add one more score here if you can, and leave the fourth quarter up to the underclassmen. The starters are back out there, 28-0. I mean, the game is, it's over as far as, so far the domination of the side of the ball from the Hawksville. But, 20-0 is just short of comfort zone to me. I think you want to try to tack one more on here.
Yeah, I mean, Cambridge, they haven't shown much, but you also want to keep your offense a little interested in the game. You need to still execute plays. We still have a full quarter of football to go. About a quarter and a half at this point.
DeRico with the carry there. He picks up about 4, so to bring up 2nd and 6.
Not only
Picked
that,
up 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
not only that, but you want to, also have some possession here and run some clock and get into the fourth quarter so you can play your underclassmen. So with guys like DeRico, Bourgeois, and Boudreau carrying the ball, maybe you can churn out a couple of first downs, get this game into the fourth quarter, and turn it over to the younger kids.
Pick up a 3 there for DeRico, so it brings up 2nd and 7, I formation. He's going to throw the football. We're going, goes across the middle. He's got Freddo wide open. Freddo didn't even see that football until the last second. And he catches it down about the Cambridge 46-yard line, first down for the Hawks.
Matt Freddo, a big target out there at 6'3", 215. And as you mentioned, George, he actually had his head turned. He kind of looked over his right shoulder, and the ball was right there. He makes the play, and the clock continuing to run at, or should be continuing to run at 4:33 with the officials finally get the clock moving as they move the chains.
Nice touch there again by Burgoyne, as he showed last week, Phil. Throwing the ball over the linebackers in front of the defensive backs in the seam, finding, like you said, the big target, Freddo.
Matt Whelan coming into the game for Dan Connors, number 75. They hand it off to DeRico. He gets it out to about midfield, picks up about 3, maybe 4 yards, and they're going to bring up 2nd down.
You mentioned Jimmy Lacrosse in the game, Podgy, number 13, lined up on the left hand, that side at receiver.
Lewis Noble, number 50, one of the co-captains for the Falcons on the tackle.
Once again, we want to mention, it happened earlier this year, but John Rock wearing 63 in tribute to fallen teammate Mike Creonti, who broke his ankle the first game of the season down in the 7-0 win over Zavarian, and we still miss Mike, and he's in our thoughts up here in the booth. Great family, Creonti family.
Handoff goes to a quick opener to Bourgeois. Breaks one, breaks two, bounces to the outside, and he's knocked down at the 40, and a first down for the Hawks.
Nice job of running right there by Mark Bourgeois. Kind of a pinball effect, but keeps the legs going, and another first down. Waltham moves the chains again, and the clock continuing to run with just a shade over 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Down in front of us, warming up, two backup quarterbacks, Ryan Hogan and Matt Maurizio, playing catch down here. I don't know if Dan McCarthy can get a shot right down below, behind the Waltham bench, right in front of us. To the right there. But
you see the cheerleaders who do hard
work. You see the quarterbacks right there warming up. Number 16, that is Matt Maurizio.
Handoff goes to DeRico. He's got a big hole, but we have a flag on the play.
Look at that. See that? I just say maybe we can get a shot, and Dan McCarthy provides us with a shot.
Top-notch camera work by Dan McCarthy.
It's like magic.
He's the best. We got a flag. Let's see what the flag is. It's against Waltham, so it's coming back.
Same type of situation that when Dan McCarthy walks into his restaurant of choice, that a beverage appears magically in front of him right away.
And it's magically delicious, as Dan will tell you.
So it brings up first and 15. We see Coach McGuire is now back at the PA announcer. In motion, number 4, Sean Lozier, but a big hole for DeRico. He's going to try to get around the corner. He does. But we have another flag.
Yeah, and that flag's away from the play, unfortunately. I think that's going to go against the Hawks, and that's going to be coming back.
Looks like a clip. I think they're going to call a clip.
Gregory, I believe. So it's going to be...
Blocking below the waist.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Gregory, 77 for Waltham. And you know what? That flag's also a product of not only the play away from the ball, but what the score is as well.
28-0. Yeah, you can let that go.
Chop block. Chop block is the call.
What's that? A 10-yarder?
Yeah.
Danny Cohen is talking right now to him. He's not happy about the call, and like you said, it's a 28-0. But he's asking whether it's behind the line of scrimmage. It's a 15-yarder.
Dan Cohen really giving it to the umpire.
So it brings up a first down and 27. And now Cohen's on the side judge over here. We're getting a shot of the quarterbacks warming up right now again. Even though it's 28-0, you don't want to see mistakes like that, and Coach Cohen felt that shouldn't have been a penalty. In motion is Hines. He's looking to throw. He does a pump. He does another pump. Oh, he threw that football, but he caught it back to himself, and he's sacked there by number 55, Manny Costello.
Yeah, Manny with a good drive off the ball there, and really was all over Burgoyne not having even a chance to get the ball off. Actually, fortunate that he did not turn the ball over.
Another penalty on Waltham, an eligible receiver downfield.
We got number 55 is Paul Dotton, who made the tackle. He just got it from...
An eligible receiver downfield is the call.
On Waltham? Another flag? Wow. So what would that bring up, Bill? Second down at 50?
Where's the ball here, Podgy? 20.
Oh, the first down's down here.
The ball's at the 26, and they got to get to the 31.
You don't see many
second
second and 50 situations.
19.
And they fumble the football. Waltham gets it back, so to bring up third down at 50.
But Waltham very fortunate to get the ball back.
Actually, we're going to try to measure this right now. They got to get to the
a little sloppy right now.
Cambridge 31. That's 19 yards to the 50. 20, 39. 19. 19 yards from there, 29.
This could be
39.
55.
No, it's 44 yards.
All right, so it's
44,
third and 44.
44.
Third and 44 for the Hawks. With 40 seconds left here in the third quarter, they lead 28-0. They're going to hand it off to Bourgeois. And he's going to get brought down by a host of tackles there by Cambridge, and the ball will be at the 30-yard line. Waltham's going to punt the football, thank God, huh?
Did you like my little addition there? That Boston Public School education definitely comes in handy. Once every couple of
Oh,
years.
that school's so good, Don Bosco, it's now closed.
It was just there's too many theologians walking the earth from Don Bosco.
I went to and
Also, you also a star basketball player?
I will not. I would not be a star. Would not be the definition
moniker that you would use
of my career. Now, if they had a three-point line when I played at Don Bosco, then you would have read some things. But no,
we do. We have read some things. We have read
Still
some
third
things
down
about
now,
you, but
okay.
it's not
a
has
slow
nothing.
white jump shooting guard in a sea of guys from Mattapan, Salton, and Roxbury who carried us to
You
a
could
couple
have
of
played hockey with Billy Dwyer there.
carried us to a couple of state titles.
Oh, this should be the last play of the third quarter if they get the play off.
If they get it off, it's a third down. That was our second down last play. They're going to hand off to DeRico. He's got a big hole. He spins around. He's across midfield. He's in Cambridge territory, down to about the 47-yard line, so it's going to bring up a fourth down and maybe 15.
But that'll end the third quarter of play with the score: Waltham 28, Cambridge nothing. We'll be right back.
What year was that?
Johnny Williams with the Northeastern. We had like 6 kids that played Division I basketball on the team.
Well, we are back. This will be the first play of the fourth quarter. This game has been all Waltham, and right after this play, we'll recap the scoring.
Okay, Waltham is going to punt the football. Rock standing in his own 40-yard line. Gets off a high spiral kick. Oh, but it takes a Cambridge bounce, goes back the other way. It's down there by Drozny about the 29-yard line. Go ahead, Phil.
Just recapping the scoring, Waltham, it was all Waltham right from the opening kickoff as Joe DeRico goes 78 yards on the opening kickoff, returns to 78 yards for the touchdown. Point after touchdown was no good, 6-0 Waltham. And then Bourgeois on an 11-yard run. And the 2-point conversion, the pass from Burgoyne to Hines made it 14-0, and then it was a Bourgeois on a 5-yard run. The extra point by Jonathan Rock made it 21-0. That would be all in the first quarter. And then it would be Jeb Boudreau on a 1-yard run, and the extra point by Rock making it 28-0 at halftime. No scoring in the third quarter, and that's where we are right now, 28-0, 10:50 left in the fourth quarter.
First and 10 for the Falcons. I'm George Melanson with Phil McGrady and Bill Zioli.
And Dan McCarthy on the roof.
And Dan McCarthy on the roof. Waltham leading 28-0. Ballard looking to throw the football, and its intended receiver is number 6, Sam Coletti Hunter. And it was incomplete.
Originally, this game scheduled to be played on the AstroTurf,
Was it really?
and weather permitting, they allowed the game to be played on the grass,
Well,
which
Bentley's on the
actually
road tomorrow, aren't they?
which actually benefits us.
Bentley's here tomorrow. Bentley's
Yeah,
home.
we'd be sitting in the dump truck right now.
So, Podgy, and you made an appearance in the broadcast booth at LeConte Rink for ice hockey action last winter during the Hawks run to the Super 8, and hopefully you'll be making another appearance this year in the hockey
Absolutely.
broadcast booth.
We might be getting ahead of ourselves with the head coach of Waltham hockey right here, the PA announcer John McGuire. But how would you estimate the Hawks team this year?
Tough to tell. The incomplete pass.
Almost
Yeah,
intercepted
Sean
there by
Lozier.
Sean Lozier.
They're going to be. They still have the studs back on defense, and Horgan and Connors, which is going to help a lot back there. New goaltender is all-world Andy Davis has graduated and gone on, and be a new goaltender between the pipes this year for the Hawks, and returning high point-getting forward Eric Frank leads the offense along with Mike Dwyer and others. So should be very competitive as well. Don't know if Super 8 possibilities are in the cards again this year, but very talented and experienced squad coming back for Coach McGuire this year.
Well, some memorable wins, notably that big win over the Arlington Spy Ponders.
Third down and 10. Back to pass with Ballard. He looks, throws it. He's got Camaro, and I think he's picked up the first down at about the 41-yard line. First down for the Falcons.
It seems like every game, Podgy, I think we mentioned it against Somerville, is that every team who are in the middle of the pack in the GBL to the lower half, it always has 1, 2, or 3 players that can play for any school in the GBL.
You're right.
And this kid, number 1, as you call him, Camaro.
We don't know what it is. What is it?
Looks like it might be Cameo.
Yeah, he could easily
Joel
play.
Cameo.
He could easily play a key role for an Everett, a Waltham, or a Peabody.
He's been all over the football field for the defense. Made a bunch of tackles when they were, falling behind 21-0 in their first 3 possessions. Ballard calling the signals at his own 41-yard line. Handed off to Ford. Tries to bounce it outside, but he's going absolutely nowhere. We have an injured player down there for Cambridge, number 72. No, he gets back up on his feet. He's Chauvin Bill. So it brings up 2nd and 11, a loss of a yard there for Ford.
Well, I guess, I don't know, we don't maybe not want to look ahead, but the homecoming next Saturday, Peabody.
Well, as mentioned here in the booth, ad nauseum to some Waltham fans, is that since Coach Cohane took over the program at the beginning of the decade, I believe it's only Danny's teams have beaten Peabody twice in the last 8 or 9 years, and Coach Ed Niswantowski always has a tough bunch up there in Tanner country, up on the North Shore, and they've been a thorn in Waltham's side for that number of years, George and Phil, and we're going to have another test here next week. The second, big game of the year, along with the Everett game, and be interesting to see what Peabody brings to the table.
Yeah. And actually, also I think our first and only daytime telecast, although of course the Thanksgiving game, the 10 o'clock start on Thanksgiving morning. I think that's the only day game we've done this year, George. It's been dark and cold.
It's been dark and cold. And we did it in the dump truck one day, and it's been up in the box. One time we were up in the press box.
In the frozen tundra of Falcon Field.
And he's going to be sacked, and that was number 16 back into the game.
Little fisticuffs there after the play. But it was Randy Jacobs who really forced that play, number 32, who really just chased down Quandell Ballard.
Now, George, you're going to be able to find your way to Falcon Stadium in the daylight next Saturday? I know you're used to coming up here at night.
I don't know. I'm a Hawk, so can I fly at night?
Remarkable recovery for one George Melanson, who was losing his voice in the first half.
If
and
you want to catch
he's a
George,
gamer.
I'm sticking it. I'm sticking out right now. That's why I want you guys to talk about. I'm just relaxing. I'm fever 101.
Anybody who wants to line up on George Melanson's route to wave at him as he drives from Milford to Waltham can start on Route 495 and 16.
Yeah, the police escort will pick him up, I think, from there.
Well, we like to line the highways where George drives from Milford to Waltham and wave to him as he goes by.
Well, I'm glad that they bought Da Vinci because I can land my helicopter there. A short punt. And they bring it down about the 37-yard line, and that's where Waltham's second offense, I would assume, would be taken over.
Yep. And were you and Mr. LaCava taking the Sharpers 1, Air Force One, back to the Sharpers heliport?
Yep, they take me over, and then they drop me right down at Hopedale Airport. I just take my shuttle from there, my limo. Tommy Glynn, you see, coming into the ballgame. We got a lot of new faces, so bear with us.
Green ticket, the number is 503-584.
Quarterback is Matt Maurizio, Podgy, number 16. Number 83 is in there as well, 51.
Matt Maurizio's in the game as a quarterback.
Also, you see
Dennis
Jason
Mahoney.
Gregory, number 77, coming out of the
27,
game. Tremendous
Keith
job
Morse,
by
the
him.
running back, is in at the ball game.
Mike Quinn, 83. 82 is Jeff Orphis.
And we have a bit there. You're going to see a lot of that exchange snaps right there. Matt Maurizio did not get it. And I think Cambridge picked up the football, and Cambridge did get the football.
You do see that a lot of times.
Yeah,
New
you will see
quarterback come into the game cold, and a lot of times you will see this happen.
Matt Maurizio and number 50, the center, Andrew Byrne, had a little complications there on the snap, and Cambridge will take over 1st and 10 at the Waltham 35-yard line. Oh, we got a winner.
Hey, Johnny, I won.
It's good to know that the comedy stylings are not only the broadcast team, but also the PA announcer.
Yeah, I had the winning ticket in my hands for a
Someone
split
stole it
second
right
there,
out of
Phil. 50-50 ticket, and
How'd you like to win the 50-50 at last game? 4,000 fans.
yeah, exactly.
I
What,
heard it was a big, $600 bucks.
$600, something like that last week here at Falcon Field. And Paul LaCava sending messages up to play-by-play man in the broadcast.
Paul LaCava informing George that the helicopter, the Sharpers 1 Air Force 1, will be leaving the heliport immediately following the game.
Well,
I don't want to see you get sick, Paul, like I am. I got 101, my cold, it's awful.
But BZ1 may be leaving shortly for Points East, as in the Faneuil Hall
Well, perhaps
area.
if you guys would be nice enough to maybe carry some of this stuff down, as I've done it by myself for the second straight week, 800 pounds of equipment.
First down and 10, 7 minutes, 8 seconds left. Won't have to worry about any traffic getting out of here. We had, I think
maybe-
Waltham was offsides there.
Yeah, maybe an
Looked like
offside encroachment almost, it looked like.
Look,
55, William Sherman. Flag on the play.
let's see what they got here. This is the flag. You see the official right there. Offsides on Waltham. So to bring up first down and 5. Get a lot of the new faces in here, Bill, on the defense.
Yeah, we'll try to get some more numbers for you as well. 88 is in the game also. Brian Dudley for the Hawks. I mentioned some other names. Tommy Glynn in there. Let's see, number 50 also, Andrew Byrne.
82's in the ball game also. Jeff
Ryan Hogan, number 19.
Mike Quinn's also in the game. Jeff Orifice is in the game also.
Yep, we mentioned him earlier.
Uh-oh, there's a big hole there, and I picked up a first down. Isaiah Bradshaw on the carry. And a first down for Cambridge.
Number 29, David McCarthy in for the Hawks as well.
Any relation to our own Dan McCarthy?
I'll tell you one thing, though.
Look in the
Isaiah
booth.
Bradshaw,
Well,
he's a big kid, number 37. He could play somewhere else, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Dan McCarthy saying no relationship.
William Turman and David Granados coming to the sidelines for the Hawks.
Temperature's starting to fall here just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Wind picking up, as you mentioned earlier, Phil. Be nice to sit here and hopefully some warm sunshine a week from, this upcoming Saturday as you're watching.
They hand it off to Isaiah Bradshaw again. Jean Lozier missed the tackle, but bringing him down is number 5, Patrick Watson.
And also Jeff Boyer on the tackle as well.
Yeah, boy, you see number 50 running over to the screen here. Going to talk to Coach Dan Duffy. Andrew Byrne getting the play, one of the linebackers. You see him running back into the huddle now.
And this is going to be officials timeout. We got a hurt player on the
And
field.
we got a hurt player for Cambridge, and it looks like Isaiah Bradshaw, who just carried the football.
Well, tonight, George Podgy Melanson may have to be a nice guy and fill in for myself, as I may have to, there are places to go and people to see later on this evening. So depending on if this clock can run any quicker or not. Going to see Robert Schimmel tonight,
No, Robert.
Podgy. Another little comedy tonight down in Boston.
Yeah?
Very famous comedian. Will not have to park in a
Are you
garage.
going down?
as
You
know.
going down there with the
I'm
wife
not,
and children?
I'm not informing the cast and crew of thousands making the trek down to Boston this evening.
What time does the show start? 10 o'clock?
10:15, George. If,
You
you're
got
more than
connections.
welcome
just
to.
just show him your referee shirt again. Let you rate him.
I'm a referee. I'm going to be refereeing the comedy here at the Comedy Connection.
That is Isaiah Thomas, who just carried the football. He must have had a delayed reaction there on the injury, huh?
I will be wearing the striped shirt tomorrow, George. If you want to come see some expert.
Are you doing the Devil
officiating.
Dogs game?
I will. Tomorrow would be Saturday. I think Devil Dog season is over.
What game you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I cannot reveal.
You can now?
Yeah, it's not a big no. Greater Lawrence, Podgy.
Yeah?
Greater Lawrence tomorrow.
Because the guy I work with went out to the Newberry Triton game tonight. Newburyport and
Newburyport and Triton Regional,
Yep.
way up by the New Hampshire border. I did a Pentucket Triton game last year, Podge. You want to talk about excitement? All of 3 people in the stands for that one.
It's like doing Pop Warner, I guess, huh? There's the option pitch out to Ford. Had trouble handling, but he did regain it, and he's brought down. He's inside the 20, though. He picked up some yardage. Good piece of running there by Ford.
Yeah, Ford very fortunate not to lose that ball. Very, very high pitch out by Ballard.
Now I don't know the story behind Louis Ford. Now, if memory serves me right, Rumeal Robinson's adopted father, Rumeal Robinson, former
basketball
NBA player, was, I believe, named Louis Ford from Cambridge. Now, could this be Rumeal Robinson,
Perhaps
step
a half
brother,
or step brother?
or something
I
like
don't
that?
know.
Because I believe Louis Ford was the mailman
Because he's
from
the same.
Cambridge
He's
who
the same.
adopted Rumeal.
Well, maybe we should
And,
send our
could-
correspondent Ray
could be.
Lucchese over to figure out
maybe
that.
something, or the News Tribune could check out that story and see if we could find out. You know, if they ever did any reporting other than stand here and take notes. You know.
You can't knock
That's
the
a first
sports.
down.
You can't knock the sports crew. Ed Brennan and friends. Ed Brennan and friends do a great job. However, the political reporting is not really reporting. Actually, people tell the reporters what to write in the paper. Because it's always the same sound bites from the same people
Right,
in this city.
right.
It seems like.
First and goal for Cambridge and the Waltham.
Believe it or not, there's still a pretty good crowd here for Waltham High. The support is still coming out to the Hawks, even though they're Cambridge. There's a pretty big. I'm just looking down. It's a good crowd, Phil.
Yeah,
Like to-
actually not a bad night for football. It's the
You
temperatures
see
drop.
Dan McCarthy showing the crowd right now.
If I can congratulate a couple of big week this week in Waltham, obviously with the mayor's race and things like that, but some new people in the council, some young, fresh faces, which we're all happy with. Hopefully get some youth involved in what's going on in the city. Paul Brasco and Dave Marcoux, Patrick O'Brien in there, and longtime friend of Channel 3, although not a one of the younger crew, but a new face on the council as well as Bob Stanton.
Bob Stanton, also a board member on the Waltham channel.
So we always like to see a little change and some fresh ideas and new voices.
Tom Stanley getting in also, right?
Tom Stanley, who was a returning counselor as well.
Tom Stanley, Jim
and
Regan, returning to the
Tom
council.
Stanley, a friend of athletic programs around the city as well, and created the Friends of Waltham Fields, or such the don't know the exact name of the organization, but you can donate and privately raise money for some funds to restore the athletic fields in Waltham.
Second
through
down
Tom
and gold. And that was Isaiah Bradshaw, and he was drilled there by Randy Jacobs. Bounced off him, believe it or not, and picked up a yard before he was finally brought down by Ryan Hogan.
We know how much you enjoy the political talk here, Phil. You know.
Yeah, it's comforting to know that there'll be no more gray matters on for the rest of this year, as we ran them, I think, pretty much every minute of the day. I guess what is kind of disappointing, only 39% voter turnout.
That's what I heard. That's not good, huh?
Not good at all.
Especially for a new mayor, a mayor race, too.
There are people around the world who would crawl hands and knees for 10 miles for a chance to vote, and for under 40% voter turnout in a city of this size is extremely disappointing.
Well, it's Ford.
Oh, there's
taking
Ford
it
going in for a touchdown.
And there goes the shutout, unfortunately. But with 2 minutes, 38 seconds left, this game well in hand
Oh, it was well in hand
at halftime.
5 minutes into the game, I think, when they were up 21-0. So the Hawks now lead at 28-6 with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left, and they're going to kick the extra point.
Dave Lasnik takes the extra point for Cambridge.
Well, Bill Zioli
Yeah.
is exiting once again. Thanks for
Although-
your
Stage right, exit left.
expert
Although,
commentary.
I
Look at this, a
enjoy-
straight-on kicker.
Yeah.
Haven't seen one of these in a long time. And it's no good.
No good.
That
That's
look-
why you haven't seen it.
Looked like the old Jim Turner of the St. Louis Cardinals, Gino Capoletti. But anyway, guys, not that I don't enjoy the pleasure of your company, but
Get things to do.
things to do, places to go, and duty calls. And the length of this game is I don't want it to interfere with other things going on.
Oh, you got to get
the
up
rest
early
of the
tomorrow to that Greater Lawrence game, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is a big game there.
Early
tomorrow.
to
Who are they playing tomorrow, do you know?
I have no. They just tell me where to go, George. It doesn't matter who they're playing.
In Lawrence?
Yeah, Greater Lawrence, that's correct. So anyway, guys, we'll see you. You guys will stay and carry the ship for the rest of the broadcast. And
Oh, no, I'm going with you. Phil's by himself.
Yeah.
and we'll all be together again at
next week.
Next Saturday.
This Saturday coming as you're watching
Yes,
this. With the Peabody Tanners invading Falcon Field to take on the Waltham Hawks. So Dan McCarthy, thank you for expert camera work as well. And guys, George, I'll leave it in your capable hands.
I appreciate it, Bill. A pleasure as always. Bill leaves here with the 28-6 Hawks lead with 2 minutes and 38 seconds left. What a comeback that would be if they come back and won it, huh?
That would be something. Well, Waltham's got to be happy the way they bounced back
they
this
do,
week
Phil. They
after
really
a tough loss to Everett last week. Game never really in doubt, right from the opening kickoff to this point now at 28-6 in Waltham. Well, they'll definitely have their work cut out. Peabody Tanners have always been tough for the Waltham Hawks, and
look at this kick. The guy just kicked it out of the end zone.
one of the bright spots for Cambridge.
One of the bright spots, and he drilled it, and he's happy. Look at it, he's all excited. He's going to get his kicking tee there and everything.
Waltham High School's next home game here at Bentley College Stadium will be next Saturday, November 13th at 1:30 against the Peabody.
So this is where the Hawks will take over with 2 minutes 32 seconds left.
Saturday at 1:30 here at Bentley College.
Next week, the homecoming. It's going to be a little bit different, this
it's gonna
year.
be different. I'm looking forward to seeing it, to see how it's going to be.
And then George will be down at Marciano Stadium
Fields
Thanksgiving
on
morning.
Thanksgiving morning. The traditional Waltham Brockton game. Randy Jacobs on the carry. He brings it across the 25, down about the 27, a pickup of 7 yards.
CJ announced